What's happening, guys? Part 2, we're going to continue this conversation. If you're with us last week, hope you enjoyed video 1. This is part 2.
There were so much questions and we want to answer all of them because they're really good questions. And the last question we left off on was, how will you teach Zane and Baby about your backgrounds and being biracial? And we don't know if you're having a girl or boy.
And this might be the week.
This might, yeah, actually we may find out really soon, so we're really pumped about that. Anyway, I'm gonna teach Zane and our kids that, one, they are biracial and they are equally, both sides of him is equally beautiful and he's wonderfully made and that's how God made him. But at the same time, he needs to know and understand that he is most likely and often gonna be considered to be a black man in America or wherever he chooses to live. And due to that fact that he is a black man in America, there are some things that he's gonna have to know, unfortunately, that I'll have to teach him. Like, there's a thing called racism. I mean, you guys have heard probably a lot of it, and it does exist, and there's examples of it. Yeah, if you don't think it exists, ask somebody that looks like me, pretty much. But I've experienced it personally, and I'll share with him those experiences because I want him to know that it is real and his dad has experienced it, but his dad doesn't allow that to dictate how he lives his life. Like, he can overcome that, you can live above that and still show love in the midst of it, right?
Yes.
At the same time, not turning a blind eye to it, making sure that he knows about injustice and that he speaks out and that he's confident to know that there's nothing wrong with him. He's not less than. Chosen one. He's chosen. He's uniquely
the chosen one.
Yeah, just to let him know that he has confidence and he doesn't need to hate the skin that he's in. Like, there's no reason for him to think less of himself because of the skin that he's in.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's good for me too, you know, as someone who has a different skin color than him, to celebrate him.
Yeah.
So I come from a mixed family with my dad being white and my mom being Hispanic. And I think a lot of times you just kind of like mesh into the white world, or even though we celebrate it when I'm around more of my Hispanic family. But I grew up in a lot of white communities or white and black communities. So you just think like, I want to be a person that celebrates everything. Fedrick's Bahamian side, his island side, his blackness.
Yeah. So he has all that. He has all that.
He has the white side, which you want to celebrate. He has the Hispanic side that you want to celebrate. And I think that's just who we are as people. Like, we love culture and we love diversity, and it's going to be talked about. Yeah,
because we live it. Because we live it. That's our life.
And yeah, Fedrick is going to have to go there with the deep, intimate conversations of who he is as a black man, as
how he be perceived.
But also, like, we watched an awesome Blackish episode about, or was it the Mixedish? We love those two shows. Yeah. But they're talking about her when she was deciding, am I black or am I mixed? And it was such a good episode because, like, she felt this pressure to be like, am I black or am I mixed? Am I black or am I mixed?
One or the other.
To one or the other. And at the end of the show, she was like, I'm both.
Yeah.
I'm proud to be both.
To have all these sides and to learn about all these unique sides to her. And that's the same thing we want for Zane, just for him to know all of his heritages that come together and combined, because he's in a very unique place. I mean, he gets to say, hey, it's a part of me that's Caribbean. Yeah. There's a part of me that's black. Texan. There's a part of me that's Texan. There's a part of me that's Mexican. There's a part of me that's Caucasian. And
whatever he decides to identify more with should, I think, also be celebrated with your kids. If they decide you're white and Mexican, you decide I identify more with the Latin side, don't knock them.
I'll teach him to also judge everybody else by the content of their character. And not just by how they look. Don't automatically rule someone out or judge them just by the way they initially come off, or the way they look, or the way they dress, the way they smell.
And who he likes is who he likes.
Yeah.
So he can be confident in this family that whatever girl he likes.
Yep. As long as she got some morals and values and stuff. She ain't, nah. Anyway, I can tell you all the stuff that I could teach him, what I want to teach my son that's not related to the question. How to treat a lady, how to respect others, how to work hard, and how to really chase his goals, chase his dream, pursue God.
There's so much. And I think also putting them in environments where they see themselves through other people. I don't want him just to be in a white community. Yeah. I don't just want him to be in a black community.
In a diverse way.
I want him to see
all the beautiful colors that the Lord has created. Yeah. And I'm gonna teach him how to hoop because that boy is tall. That boy need to go to the league.
That's true. How do you guys talk about big decisions or tough stuff? Is there a certain time of the day that you guys chat about this stuff? Fedrick.
No. There's no certain time of day.
No.
We do chat about big stuff a lot, and we kind of like take it head on.
One of the things that our biggest conversations sometimes are in the shower.
Oh, where it is. Yeah. You can't run away from anybody at that point, right? Water's running.
Always take a shower together.
No, but
when we do, it's like the meeting place.
We solve a lot of problems there, but you got to find wherever your place is. But the key is that you guys have to be willing to come together and have conversations and have the freedom to kind of like air your thoughts without being judged or ridiculed or someone saying that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. We try, for the most part, to like allow each other's to get their feelings out. Yeah. When it comes to big decisions and say, this is why I feel this, and then I'll say, this is why I feel this. And a lot of times we're not even together on a topic or on a decision, but at the end of the day, we kind of always try to come to that middle ground.
I can go deep at any time.
Yeah.
Okay? So picking your times that your significant other is like not bombarded by your deep question or deep this or let's get serious and talk. Like, I think there is an art to timing.
Yeah, don't approach the guy if he's watching a sports game or something. If
You're just gonna get
like
mad.
Like a basketball game or a football game on Sunday. Like, don't approach him then.
Timing is key. Like, so I think if I just before we record this video, I was going to go deep into something and I felt like the Holy Spirit just saying, not now. I usually do it when Fedrick's like running out the door. Yeah.
Or I'm supposed to
great time either.
Be jumping on a meeting or something.
Jumping on a meeting. I'm like, Jesus just spoke a word to me. And then it's like, and he's so patient, but I can see it in his eyes. He's like,
I'm like, you really going to talk about this right now though? Like,
but I also think we don't have to be so structured either. Yeah. And we're not a structured couple when it comes to, if you have something on your heart and your mind, like, I think we should pause and talk about those things. Serious life stuff, like, that comes very natural to us. Yeah, so it's kind of both on our heart, on our mind.
And if y'all are so busy that the only way you can get to it is if you put on the calendar, put on the calendar. Like, if that works for you, throw it on the calendar.
For you, like, and it gives people time to prepare, then that's fine too.
Find what works best for you, but you need to have that space where you can talk about the big things, and we have that, and we do it often. We kind of talk about feel like we talk about a big thing every day.
Take the time to listen. I tend to butt in sometimes, and not, and I work on that. Like, let Fedrick speak before you while out. Yeah. But when it comes to like big decisions, like, you know, where we're moving, jobs, like, we both pray for each other and we take it to the Lord and we hear what the Lord is saying, and then we come back and it's like, what'd you hear? What'd you hear?
How do you become one in marriage, especially before the Lord, and how does it work, or does it just happen?
I know that when you come together in marriage, you are already one. Yep. The Lord talks about that you leave and cleave and you become one in spirit. If you look at marriage as a contract, you would think, I don't understand that. But when you look at it as a covenant relationship, you are coming together, spirit to spirit, intertwining. Now, what benefits you benefits the other person. What hurts you hurts the other person. So just know it's an immediate thing that's happening. But I think this question is also asking, how do you stay in that oneness? It's just kind of like when your salvation with Christ. Like, you get saved by the grace of God because you believed in Jesus and he comes. But there's now a whole working out your salvation that happens. Like, you just don't like lay there for the rest of life.
Another aspect of becoming one and how you can become one in marriage is that if there's something that you guys experience that kind of, like if Jaclyn has a grievance toward me or I did something that hurt her, she doesn't automatically run back to her mom or dad and to go like telling them like,
boundaries.
You would never guess what Fedrick did to me or said to me. You work things out amongst yourself and you don't run to someone else and talk bad about your person, you know, because you're also guarding and safeguarding them. I would never run to my parents and say, Jaclyn's this. There's a unity there, right? Because there's trust there and we're in it together. We said for better or for worse, like we're going to figure out how to work our stuff out. Like we could get a counselor if that's what we want, a mutual counselor, but we're not going to just air out dirty laundry just like to get at each other.
Yeah, you have to think about the foundation of marriage is loving one another and sacrifice and commitment.
Zane just woke up. I gotta go get Zane.
The whole root of it is love. So how do I cover that person? Like Fedrick's saying, like thinking the best of the person, always having that person's back, like encouraging and uplifting and being that person's like biggest supporter. And I think as you continue to draw near to Christ, you will continue to draw near to one another. Yeah, I just love what Fedrick said, is really protecting your home and your unity and your peace in your home. And that has to do a lot with boundaries. If you've never read Henry Cloud's books, Boundaries, get that. We let so many outside influences come in and disrupt the peace in our home and the peace in our relationship. So I would just watch like what are outside opinions, outside negativity. Yes, that's my son crying, but Daddy's got him. And just continue to build together is just such a beautiful thing. Best advice for newlyweds.
Guard your unity.
I was just talking about that when you walked away.
Oh, really? Either way, that's my best advice for you. Guard your unity because you two are one. Storms are going to happen. Life is going to try to pull you all kind of ways. Bad stuff will happen. Good stuff will happen. Either way, if you guys are together and unified on everything and as much as you can be and in your household, then nothing else matters that's going on outside of you externally.
I literally was just saying that. So that was the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Best advice. Truly leave and cleave. Your husband is now your number one. Yeah. Okay? Not your mama. Not your daddy. Not your best friend. Yep. It's your husband. So put him in that place of honor and respect. Your wife, put her in that place of honor and respect. Don't run to your mom. Don't run to your dad when things go crazy that first year of marriage. Like really guard. Like, homie.
That's
guard. Wow, he is talking a lot. Just guard that, even with like people you let into your homes, how they speak about your relationship, who is covering you. And then another just fun advice would be just have fun and travel when you can travel.
And don't go to bed mad at each other.
Yeah, boom, everybody says that.
That's the truth though.
But like, if you need to be mad for a second, you know.
Next question.
Yeah, so there's so much we could talk about, probably in our video on just newlywed stuff. The next one would be, did you experience any problems with family members or friends when it comes to interracial dating? Let me just say yes. We also, just to kind of move through that, we have
check out our video on the breakup, on interracial dating
period,
several
and the obstacles that we walk through.
Yep.
So yes, it was very difficult. It was one of my most difficult seasons of my entire life. It was not easy, and we went through the fire.
Absolutely.
But God gave us promise and said He would be with us. And you can get through anything. If you're experiencing any difficulties now, know that you don't have to back down to racism and prejudice and people's opinions about interracial because God finds us beautiful. How do you get over past hurts in relationships and not bring that into the new one?
Pray. Invite God in your situation. Invite Him to help heal those wounds that you have. And also pray for the person that inflicted the wounds on you. Yeah. The best way to move forward in that is to pray for that person and actually pray for them and pray for them in a way that you pray for a friend or a family member in that kind of way, not like a cheap prayer. You know what I'm saying? Pray expensive prayers to them.
Make sure you've walked through some healing season. So if you were to break up that was very unhealthy or hurtful to you, take some time to heal. Take some time to walk with the Lord. Know who you are in your identity, your identity in Christ. Know who you are as a woman or a man, and heal from that. Then when you go in a new relationship, don't be surprised if some of those things do pop up, because there's a real thing called triggers, and you're going to have to probably work through that. And don't take it out on your new person as if they are that person, because they're not that person.
Know that God restores.
And God restores.
He'll restore you and restore the brokenness inside of you and
He will.
He can give you a relationship that's so much better than what you had if you
boom. Okay, here we go. What did you learn from college that you still use or practice to this day? Assuming this is about relationships and marriage and dating. College was my first real interracial relationship. So I dated someone for 4 years who was black. He still currently is black, I think. It really made me think, like, at an early age, I experienced a lot of opposition from family still. And to think that I, 10 years later, decided to just keep going in that direction and not backing down. Okay, Zane.
Hold on, take it. Keep talking.
What I learned is that racism is real, and people are opposed to you being together with someone of another race. I experienced that at 19. I went to a 90% all-white college at the University of Colorado in Boulder. Shout out, great school. Very white. I pretty much got something every day, even told from adults. Very hurtful things for dating a black man. So I think I carried that on as like strength. Like I was strengthened during that time to not give in to that. Other one was just like what not to do in relationships. I feel like college was more of a breeding ground for my crazy. I think what I learned was that my identity is not wrapped up in who I date. Not wrapped up in my relationship status. He's back. So I was talking about how what I learned in college is I don't feel like my identity needs to be wrapped up in a guy.
Nice.
Which...
You know what I learned in college?
What?
I was dumb.
How long do you guys stay mad at one another? And who apologizes first?
Whoa. It's easy. We stay mad at each other for 2.5 seconds. At least I do. Jaclyn stays mad longer than I do. When we get mad at each other, if we have a heated fellowship, as we call it, or we don't disagree on something and they're like, blah, blah, blah. One, we don't escalate. We never really escalate, which is actually kind of weird that we don't take it to level 25. We tried to do this thing where I said it earlier, like don't go to bed mad at each other. So usually the first person in most cases, would you say most cases, is me coming to you saying, hey, let's talk about it?
Unfortunately, yes.
Or is it you coming to me saying, let's talk about it? Okay. So it's me going to her and say, hey, we're going to talk about this.
So bad.
Let's air it out. If I said something dumb, because I'm a guy and I say dumb things quite often, I have to apologize. You know, I go apologize. Say, hey, I didn't mean that. This is not. I was trying to say this, and this came out, and that's not it. Blah 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 blah. But we never want to let the sun go down on our love.
Trying to film this. That was really good, guys. Fedrick likes to squash it immediately. I could probably fume forever. So that's that. I have a great husband who literally comes in and apologizes and is always the better man, while I would like to storm off.
The longer you stay mad at each other, the longer you don't resolve it, we feel like you leave windows open to the enemy to come in and try to bring in some doubt, bring in some confusion, and we don't want that in our marriage. We don't want that in our relationship. So we try to get ahead of all that and just squash it, because in the end, we signed up to be with each other forever, and these things will happen, and you just got to know how to address them and how to move forward when these things do happen. So that's kind of what we do.
We stay together forever,
y'all. Yeah. Thanks for watching part 2.
Part 2. Hope you all enjoyed these. Loved y'all's questions. Yeah. Hopefully it's helpful. Hopefully this encouraged you. Next time.
See you next time. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button. Share this video with a friend. And then find a friend and tell them to subscribe to this video, because you know they gonna benefit from it.
They gonna benefit. They gonna benefit, y'all. Okay, bye.
All right, bye guys. See you next time. This.
Yeah. So there is so much we.
Yeah. So there is so much we.